Alright guys, welcome to episode 5 of Syrian's Music. I guess you call it the video series, I guess. Or the behind the scenes. Don't know what y'all want to call it. Let me know what you guys want to call this. I could use some ideas. So today's episode is my favorite TV shows, which I want to know what y'all's are. So comment, please, because I want to discuss and talk and be able to compare series and have some fun. So to start us off, I want to talk about I know what I want to talk about. When Calls the Heart. Just to kick us off, When Calls the Heart is one of my favorite TV shows. I love Hallmark movies. But When Calls the Heart is legit. I watched season 5 over Christmas break, and I'm not ashamed to say that I cried. I cried that last episode because Jack died, okay? He died. Sorry if this is a spoiler alert for y'all, but he died, okay? And he left behind Elizabeth, and she's very pregnant. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. And I cried ugly tears. Yeah. So there's that. I'm honestly looking forward to season 6, even though Jack's not in it, but we'll see how it goes. I'm just looking forward to seeing Elizabeth as a mom. But yeah. So, let's see. Another one of my favorite shows is also Hallmark is The Good Witch. I was kind of hesitant to watch it, but it has one of my favorite actresses in it. Actress and actor in it. And I love Good Witch. I'm still behind a season, I think, but it's still really good. So, yeah. Let's see here. What else? So, if you can't tell, I'm wearing a Flash shirt. So, and I mentioned in my last episode that I prefer the DC TV shows over the DC movies. And so, I literally watch The Flash, Supergirl, DC Legends, and Arrow. I'm ashamed to say that I am behind in Arrow. That's because I know I'm going to cry, and I'm not ready for that yet. I might go back and watch it over the summer. Flash, I'm behind in everything because of school and everything, but just watching the commercial, the trailers, and just reading the articles on the episodes, and I'm just like, what's going on, people? I don't understand. But like Supergirl's taking a really weird turn. But I'm fixing to go on air, so I will be right back. Okay, so DC shows. I love DC shows. I haven't actually seen any of the Marvel TV series, just because my dad told me that they're very, very violent, and I don't like violent, and so that's just me. But yeah. So, you guys can give me your opinion on that. So, let's see, other TV series that I watch. I have seen all the Stargates. Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, Stargate Universe. Stargate Universe is, meh. It's okay. I prefer Atlantis and SG-1. But of course, I grew up watching SG-1, and so O'Neill and Cam and Sam and Teal'c and, I know his name? Daniel. How can I forget Daniel? He's one of my favorite characters. But, yeah. I love all of them. So I love the crossover episodes in Atlantis with SG-1. Those are some of my favorite ones. Especially when Rodney and Daniel get kidnapped. That episode's hilarious. Yeah. So, crud monkey, y'all. Sorry. I have officially seen all the Star Treks except for the cartoon. So I've seen all the live action Star Treks. I grew up with Voyager and DS9 and Next Generation. Those are the ones I grew up with because that's what my parents watched. But then I branched out on my own and watched the original Star Trek with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. I think that's how you pronounce it. And then I went and watched Star Trek Enterprise with Scott Bakula in it. And I love Scott Bakula. I love him to death. So Star Trek Enterprise and Voyager are kind of tied for me in first place. And my favorite, because Voyager, I love the storyline with Tom and B'Elanna, and I love everything that goes on in those episodes. Like the captain-commander relationship between Chakotay and Janeway, and I love it. And I love all the interactions with the Doctor, because he's a hologram and he's trying to learn how to be human, and it's the best. So those, and then Enterprise, Enterprise is just, I don't know how to, it's just really good, okay? That's all I can say about it. So, because I don't know how to explain Enterprise. It's a good one. I love Trip. I love DePaul. Archer, of course. Travis and Malcolm. Malcolm's an interesting character. Hoshi. The Andorians and the Vulcans. That's an interesting storyline. Especially because the Andorians call the humans pink skins. That's like my favorite thing. Yeah. So there's that. And then let's see here. Sorry, I gotta fix something real quick. There we go. Okay. So those are tied for first. And then Next Generation and the original Star Trek, they're the same thing for me. They're second. They're tied for second. I grew up with Next Generation. The only thing I don't like about Next Generation is the Borg. The Borg, I can handle the Borg in Voyager because they're not like super scary. They kind of humanize them a little bit and make them a little bit more not terrifying. But then you get to Next Generation and they're freaking scary, okay? I had to, like, when I first watched it, I had to literally, like, hide my head behind my dad's back because I unplugged my ears. I just couldn't watch it. I still can't watch it to this day. I always skip those episodes because I don't like it. The Borg are, the Borg and Next Generation are, but the original Star Trek and Star Trek Next Generation are, they're tied for second. Now, Star Trek Discovery and DS9, honestly, I have to say they're probably tied for third for me. I love Discovery. I'm not a huge fan of all the things they have in it right now. I mean, okay, DS9 was really good. It just had a very different storyline to things, and it wasn't my absolute favorite. It's still really good though. In Discovery, I'm still trying to figure out what's going on in Discovery a little bit. So I've watched all the way through season 1. Season 2 is currently being released. I'm caught up on it. Because they only release one episode a week on CBS All Access, and I'm like, I want more. I want the entire story. What's going on? So I won't be able to see what's going on because I'm hoping and praying they're going to bring in Spock in the next episode because I want to see Spock. I want to see what he looks like. So Spock is my favorite Star Trek character of all time, probably, besides all my favorite couples like Riker and Deanna Troi, Tom and B'Elanna, there's a couple others, my brain, all of you are probably gonna shoot me for this, but Picard and, Dr. Crusher, there's a couple others, Trip and DePaul, crap. I know there's a couple others, but those are the ones that are right off the top of my head. Worf and I know her name. Jadzia Dax. O'Brien and Keiko. There's a few others. Those are the ones I adore. And actually remember. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I have to say about Star Trek. So Voyager and Enterprise are my two top. They're tied for number 1. So let's see. Star Trek, Stargates. I have watched all of the NCISs, all 3 of them. LA, New Orleans, the original. I've watched all of them. I'm behind in a few episodes, just with time and everything, like I am in the other one. The reason why I'm caught up in Star Trek Discovery is because they only release 1 episode a week, and it's not that hard to keep caught up. But I mean, all the other shows release 1 episode a week, but I was already behind in those, and so yeah. But let's see here. Trying to think of. So all the NCISs, I have to say that LA is probably number 1, and then the normal NCIS and New Orleans are tied for 2nd. NCIS LA, I love it because it has Chris O'Donnell in it, and I love the storyline between Deeks and Kinsey, and that's like one of my absolute favorite TV couples. I adore them. And what really is I love this about those two, Danielle, who plays Kinsey, she's actually married to Eric's brother. So they play an on-screen couple, but in reality, they're brother and sister-in-law. And so I'm like, oh my god, this is so weird, but it's so cool at the same time. So yeah, there's that. Let's see here. I have seen all the CSIs. I've watched all of them. CSI Miami, New York, the original, and Cyber. I love Cyber. That was a really good one. I wish they had made more. I wanted more. Come on, people. You should have given me more. But yeah. So, all the CSIs. I think I have to say New York and Miami are tied for 1st. Just because I love it. I love New York and I love Miami. Just the storylines with everything and all that. And then CSI the original, and CSI Cyber, those are tied for 2nd. I love all of them. Those are just, Miami and New York are my 2 favorites. Like, absolute adore favorites. Yeah. Trying to think of some others. I'm actually fixing to go on the air, so I will be right back. Okay, so back to TV shows. I'm gonna backtrack to DC shows because I forgot to mention a couple. So as I mentioned in my last episode, I am a Superman fan. I am a Superman girl. I love Superman. He is my top superhero. Captain America 2nd. But one of the reasons I absolutely adore Superman is because my parents introduced me to him when I was little. Through the Lois and Clark series featuring Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. I think it's Terry Hatcher. But that was my first real exposure to Superman, and I absolutely love it. I have all 4 seasons of it. I watch it. Every once in a while I'll be like, I want to watch it, and I go through the entire series. I've seen it so much I know which episodes are my favorite. Like the one where Lois and Clark, they switch power. Like Superman's powers get transferred into Lois, and she becomes Ultra Woman, and that is like my absolute favorite episode. Besides the final episode in season 4 when at the end they're given a baby, and I'm like, oh my god, they're given a baby. So yeah, there's that. So, yeah. So I love Dean Cain. I love Terry Hatcher. Hatcher. She also played in Spy Kids, which I did not realize until a little bit as I got older, and I realized I was recognizing actors and things. So she plays in Spy Kids. Dean Cain plays in so much stuff. It is crazy how much stuff he plays in that I love and adore. One of my favorite movies he's in is Ace of Hearts. It's about a dog who runs away and all that jazz. It's a really good movie. You guys should watch it. But yeah, Dean Cain is one of my favorites. So another DC show that I have grown to love is Smallville. I was a little weary about watching it at first. I don't remember why. Probably because my dad wasn't a big fan of it. But I went and watched it, and I absolutely love it. I love the storyline. I love the fact that they went back to his like childhood and like brought things up and like had him have best friends, and Lois wasn't an immediate love interest. They were more like brother and sister fighting and arguing, and he was best friends with Lois's cousin Chloe, and he had a best friend Pete, and I absolutely loved it. And Lex Luthor, Lord have mercy. Lex Luthor in this series was just amazing. I think he was played by Michael Rosenbaum, something like that. Y'all, they're like Lex Luthor and Clark Kent were about 10 years. Lex is about 10 years older than Clark, if I remember correctly. And Lex is basically the big brother that Clark always wanted up until, I'm trying to remember what season things went. Probably the season he took Lana. But, yeah. So, Lana Lang is very heavily in Smallville, and yeah. So, all of it was amazing. I loved it. I love the fact that they brought in Terry Hatcher as Lois's mom, who died. They brought in Dean Cain to play a villain. They brought in crap. I wanted to say they brought in a couple other people, and I can't think of who they brought in. From like some of the old ones, they brought in Christopher Reeves to play an astronomer. Who helped Clark through some stuff, which I absolutely loved that. That was really good. And then they had, I'm trying to think. They brought in so many other people, and I love them all. Justin Hartley plays Oliver Queen, which I absolutely adore. He's so freaking hot. I'm sorry, y'all. I have to. He's so hot in that. He's still hot, but he was smoking hot in Smallville. Of course, him and Chloe wind up getting together, which I loved that storyline. And of course, Lois and Clark, of course. But it takes them. I think they brought her in season 3. They did not officially get together until like season 9 or 10, and I'm like, oh my god. I love the character development, but oh my gosh, guys. That's too long. You need to hurry up, people. But I love it. But yeah. I wish they had made more seasons. Apparently they made season 11 into a comic book. But yeah. I haven't seen it yet. So, but I'll be back. Sorry, that was Mr. Stevens. He's the kind of the head honcho over the radio station, but I'm just... Oh, he surprised himself, and he almost knocked over the lamp. Alright, y'all. So let's get back. I don't have a whole ton of time. So yeah. Smallville, that. The last one I'm going to talk about is Doctor Who. I love Doctor Who. I have not seen the oldie ones. I've seen from, like, Christopher... Crap, I don't remember his last name. Eccleston? From 2005 to now. I haven't seen Jodie Whittaker yet. My dad made me get rid of Amazon Prime, so I can't watch it. I have to find somewhere else to watch it. But I will be watching that shortly. But I've seen all of Peter Capaldi's. I love David Tennant and Matt Smith are my two favorite. Okay, I love David Tennant. He's the best. I love his accent. I love the way he talks. And then Matt Smith is just, he's just, I love them. I love them to death. But Doctor Who is basically like, you guys see my Instagram? I have this thing on my Instagram all the time. I write all my radio stuff in it. I had a friend give it to me for my birthday. I have buttons. I have sonic screwdriver. Peter Capaldi sonic screwdriver. I've got all kinds of Doctor Who stuff everywhere. The one thing I really, really want right now are Doctor Who bed sheets and a comforter, and that's what I'm probably gonna put on my birthday list because I really, 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 really want those. But yeah. So, that is all the time I have for today. I am actually going to be interviewing Seth Driscoll on Thursday, so keep your eye out for that episode. Hopefully I'll have it up Thursday night, Friday. Episode 6 will be coming on Friday. Haven't decided what I'm gonna talk about yet. And my roommate might be doing it with me. We'll see how that goes. So yeah. But, keep an eye out for, Seth's interview, in episode 6, and check out my Instagram, Facebook, Terry Ann's Music. I post all kinds of stuff on there. So yeah. I will talk to y'all later.